Next team up, the LA Rams. So this is where the individual records lied. Man, I can tell you that I'm pretty high on the Rams as well. 10-7 for me and Don. Jason has them at 11-6. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 has them at 9-8. Sora has them at 11-6. Hayden has them at 12-5. So when you rounded it all out, they came to a 10-7 record, landing in second place for ECG. Look, man, they were 10-7 last year. They're going to be 10-7 this year. They were first in the NFC West last year. Points for, ranking 20th in the NFL. Points against, 17th in the NFL. They obviously have some improvement to do. The Rams offense was efficient, pre-snap, motion, play action, both staples of that scheme, right? And with Davante Adams being on that team who ran this very, very well with the Green Bay Packers, I see more of the same happening for them. Their success on motion plays last year, 47.7, ranked 8th in the NFL. Their play action success rate, a very high, 55.8, ranked 4th. When both were years, the success rate climbed to 58.3. Why would Sean McVay get away from doing that even more? The only question mark that we have here is Matthew Stafford, but he's been a consistent every single season, over and over and over and over and over again. Finished with a quarterback rating of 93.7 last year. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 was hurt, but when he came in, had an impressive start to his career. Everybody knows this. That he proved that breakout season wasn't a fluke, guys. He recorded 990 yards in 11 games. Had a receiving average of 12.5 yards a catch and notched 79 receptions. People hope to get to that number even just in one season. He did it in 11 games because of injury. He finished top 25 in receiving yards and top 15 for yards after catch in 11 games. Kyren Williams, as far as a running back, he's a top 7 back in this league. He might be top 5 in a lot of people's eyes, right? Mass close to 1,300 yards, just 1 yard short, 14 touchdowns. He's a touchdown beast. And also 182 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, right? Crazy. They did draft Blake Corum last year, who I guess that what they're trying to do is hope that he can step in place. But I know they drafted 𝗕𝙂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗏 Hunter, which you know, personally we have our opinions of him. But as far as on the football field, absolute beast. I think he can take over that number 2 spot where Blake couldn't. Jared Verse, Florida State, go Noles. Love Jared Verse. Historic rookie season, 77 quarterback pressures, only second to Nick Bosa. Crazy, man. That front seven is going to be absolutely insane. The Rams defense produced 2 of the most impactful defensive plays in the season in terms of win probability added. Quentin Lake was a reliable presence as well. We got to, throw him in there. Played nearly every snap. He demonstrated his ability to play not only the safety, a pure safety position, but also the star position. Recorded a career high 111 tackles and 2 sacks. Now, here's where things get interesting. We talked about Davante Adams a little bit. You can have your opinions on him. I don't really care. We care about what happens on the football field. I don't care what happens in the media. I don't care if you like him or not. When you come here, we give you the straight facts. He went to the Jets. Started off a little slow. The second half of that season when he was there, they started to turn up the juice a little bit. And now he's with the Rams where, Matthew Stafford has produced 2 superstar wide receivers. When is he going to get his credit for Calvin Johnson? When is he going to get his credit for having a Triple Crown winner in Cooper Kupp? And now you pair him up with Davante Adams. I don't see him slowing. They just keep making him younger at his position. I don't care personally how you feel about him. The dude is still a talented wide receiver. I'm still a big fan of Davante Adams. I'll take him over a lot of people in a heartbeat. But how will this impact Puka Nacua? How will this impact Jordan Whittington or Tutu Atwell, who's still trying to find his way and finding a bigger role for them? Also, the tight end position. The tight end room is dealing with a little bit of parity as well. Terrence Ferguson gets drafted, coming over, and Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson, and also having Davis Allen, who, from coming over from Clemson, who showed a little bit of flashes in his role as well. We will see what happens with them, but obviously they wanted another pass catching tight end, and Terrence Ferguson, and the rich just keep getting richer, right? So we'll see it from there. Kanata Munfield was a huge draft pickup for me. I've been watching Kanata Munfield since he was at Akron. And Kanata Munfield is one of those guys that can do it all. I think he's going to carve out a role here in this offense. And he's really going to put a lot of pressure on Jordan Whittington and Tutu Atwell to really prove that they are deserving to be on this team. They beefed up their O-lineman. Coleman Shelton, who was previously with the Rams in 2022. They go in and pick him up. They grab him back from the Bears where he spent his last year with. As far as their defense is concerned, Poona Ford comes over. Ty Hamilton comes over to beef up that, defensive line. Ty Hamilton coming over from Ohio State, the former national champion, or the current national champions. And one of our favorite edge rushers just comes over to pair himself up with Jared Verse, to pair himself up with Byron Young and Josiah Stewart. He might be undersized, but we were down there at the Senior Bowl scouting this dude, and I can tell you he's got the juice. Chris Paul comes over as a linebacker. How the hell did they let Chris Paul fall to the Rams? He's going to be dominant down there. I believe more in Chris Paul. I believe more in Chris Paul than I do with a lot of other guys that play the linebacker position, right? And I think the best place for him to go was the Rams, but the worst place for everybody else was him to go to the Rams. So we'll see what happens. A little bit more on the Rams. They allowed 223.1 passing yards per game, ranking them 20th in the league. And that's where my concern is still going to be on this defensive back unit, of course. They allowed 29 pass touchdowns, ranking 26th in their league last year. And the Rams defended 73 passes in 2024. I think they're still going to struggle there. They still didn't address that. And maybe something comes from that, and maybe somebody can step up to the plate on that defensive side. Matt Stafford, to me, is the ones that's going to bring them the most success. And we'll see what happens to Matt Stafford this year with all the supporting cast and the young supporting cast he has out there, and another veteran at Devontae Adams that comes through. So very high on the Rams. They could damn well win the NFC West. All right, let's head over to the comments real quick. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Rams lose twice to the Niners. We'll see. The only corner of note on the Niners is Renardo Green. I'm not afraid the comment of Lenore. Adams will have a good, not great year, in my opinion. I think he'll have a great year. Yo, listen to this dude here. He is right. Niners are the big dog of the NFC West. We're going to get into them here in a little bit. I agree. I would take Adams any day, and Stafford, him and Megatron was something else. Yeah, to think that people would think he's going to slow down. Stafford makes great receivers awesome. Pillaging for fun. What's up, East Coast? Been missing your input on. Oh, those dudes don't mess with me anymore. I don't know why. I got blocked over a meme, bro. So, wouldn't surprise me. The Rams go 15-2, 13-4, depending on how their rookies develop. And from what I'm hearing, running back to going to be Hunter. Yeah, I hear the same things. But appreciate everybody that's coming through, man. Everybody that's tapped in. Gotham City Raider, could they stop the run? Yes, they can absolutely stop the run. That's going to be one of their strong suits this year, for sure.